Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am here to give you this special, brief little introduction to this week's Dads on Wrestling. As most of y'all know, Jeff isn't here right now. He's still up at his home, spending Father's Day and all that good junk, and he's got the camera. So, just wanted to do this little intro because since he's not here, we were unable to film a new episode of Dads on Wrestling this week, so we are going to air a lost episode. This episode comes from last June, when the Dads on Wrestling, then including the Lady Killer Ray Larkin, were up in Las Vegas for the infamous CM Punk pipe bomb. It was almost a year ago, exactly, June 27th, 2011. We're going to throw to this very special episode, just found after all this time. Jeff, myself, and Ray talking about some of the best moments in ECW history, and we're doing this one, like I said, because of Jeff not being here, and with the release of ECW's new WWE DVD, ECW Unreleased, the return of Paul Heyman lately as Brock's legal advisor. Thought it'd be a good time to show some of these good moments from the original ECW.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode of the Dads on Wrestling. Not sure what number this is. We've been doing so many out here in Vegas, we've lost track of the count. We apologize for that. We're here in the M&M store. Thank you to Staff Boy again for winning the camera, getting that awesome shot. I thought we were getting you sober today. Thought Drunk Jeff wasn't going to be here.
We were, but then I decided that our topic today needed a little bit more of an extreme touch.
Because our location is nowhere near extreme.
No, definitely.
This is true. You know, much love to the M&M store, but we're here to talk about ECW. And again, the highlights.
There are way more highlights of ECW than there are ECW stuff we're going to talk about at that point.
Yes.
So, you know, yeah. But
ECW, the first thing that you think of as a highlight and what really made the company was the franchise Shane Douglas winning the NWA title and throwing it to the ground. That right there ushered in the era of
the
extreme
championship wrestling. This is very true. The franchise, Paul Lee, Todd Gordon all got together and decided, you know what? No more NWA Eastern Championship Wrestling. Let's make a statement. Let's make a stand. Let's turn this business on its head.
There you go.
Not on its ass.
And again, I just want to throw out the audio in those stories, probably louder than us. Fucking deal with it. It's the price you pay for filming on location, folks.
In Vegas, folks.
You know, when I was a young kid and they started putting ECW on pay-per-view, like the little, buy Extreme Championship Wrestling on pay-per-view, I'm like, that's not WWF. And I started researching the company a little bit, and I realized...
And you make sure to buy some M&Ms when you watch the pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, exactly. All the WWE, pay-per-views are usually sponsored by M&M or some kind of candy. Anyways, I saw people flying through tables. I just saw these trailers, for their pay-per-views, and I was just like, damn, this is a really good company.
This is revolutionary.
Exactly.
You know, and a lot of people... Go ahead. A lot of people hear Extreme Championship Wrestling, and all they think about is barbed wire, tables, Stairway to Hell, and all those type of things, but they forget the fact that the Cruiserweight division was brought to the United States through ECW. They forget about the Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko 2 out of 3 Falls Classics that ended in a draw, folks. That's why I'm wearing this shirt, is I know it's a WCW shirt, but 3 out of the 4 men pictured on this shirt were ECW before they came to WCW.
Before they went to WWE.
And I know this is a rare thing these days, but if you still go into a DVD store, you know the difference between a WWE DVD, which you can find available on Shop Zone right now, and a difference between an ECW DVD. An ECW DVD, some of them would just have a fist with barbed wire on it, not giving you the WWE 2 men facing each other down like WrestleMania 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all of them.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So it would make the mark actually have to look at the back and see what was going down. And if you bought it, you got your money's worth.
Exactly. The one WWE ECW DVD that I will put over is The Rise and Fall of ECW. Anybody that wants to learn their history needs to buy that DVD Walmart, Best Buy, Shop Zone, wherever you can find it. The best 3 hours you will ever spend in front of your TV.
Wow. And my mortal enemy RVD doesn't have the whole show, the whole fucking show. It only has about 10 to 15, maybe 15 minutes of DVD. Dude. Yeah.
Now, while we're talking about ECW, now let's get off of Rob for a second, because he came in towards the middle of ECW.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about Raven and Tommy Dreamer. Let's talk about Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman. Let's talk about the crucifixion.
Talk about Tommy Dreamer getting his
testicles cleaned by Jerry Lawler.
Let's dive in just a little bit to the first ever lesbian angle on TV.
Lesbian angle.
All these things are covered in the Rise and Fall DVD.
ECW broke every freaking taboo that the wrestling business put in front of him, and he didn't give a shit about it.
And I'm going to go with Paulie on this one. WWF would have never had an attitude if it hadn't been for ECW.
And I'm gonna go on record as saying we're getting extreme in a fucking M&M store for children.
We're swearing for the kids.
The Candy of the Opera, baby. That's for you, Jade. That's for you, T. Phantom of the Opera, baby.
Yay! All right.
Back to extreme.
Back to extreme.
In the M&M store.
Hey, the original Phantom of the Opera was extreme. He wasn't some hot dude in a half mask. No homo. No homo. But, you know.
God, where were we? I forgot. It's all right.
Beginning of it.
The Tommy Dreamer Sandman winding thing. Seriously, Sandman stayed in his house. He wouldn't even answer the door for a pizza delivery.
His wife answered the door.
He freaking played up the gimmick. In that day and age, that just didn't happen. You know? Freaking Raven turning the Sandman's son against him. That was freaking awesome. Yeah.
Heart tugging, brutal. And then we finally see Tyler come out in Sandman gear when he wins the title, goes for the hug, Raven flips in, boom, King Sandman's head off.
Rose up the Raven pose.
Everything about Raven Sandman and Raven
lesbian name. Awesome. Kimona Wanalea. Probably the best female gimmick name in the history of wrestling. Kimona Wanalea.
Look it up for those of you.
Google it.
That's right. Google it. That's right.
Even better, WWE Search It. Download the toolbar where you can go to WWE Search. You can actually earn points that you can turn into Shop Zone to buy merchandise off of this man.
Thank you.
Alright, ECW, as we move into the mid-90s, 95, 96, Chris Jericho. I don't like Chris Jericho.
But in ECW, hold on, this is ECW show.
Lionheart Chris Jericho. The good Chris Jericho.
There was a good Chris Jericho. Part of his armbar set.
Jericho was the first guy to not only take Taz off his feet, but suplex him. Taz didn't get touched back then. And Jericho came in, reversed the suplex, and suplexed Taz out of his damn boots.
Yep.
That's how much Paulie had faith in Jericho after seeing his Japan and Mexico work. You had Eddie, Dean, Benoit,
one of my favorites,
Sabu. And we talk about Sabu. I know you don't like him, but you gotta bring up Rob Van Dam.
Dude, come out to my store next month. I'm gonna be the guest signing for $50. Hey, Rob, can I get your autograph right now? Sure, dude. Rob Van Dam.
I do not endorse nor condone making fun of Rob Van Dam on any of my shows, but
I do
you've
endorse.
been to the store enough times that you know that happened more than a couple times.
I know.
I do, however, endorse his faded poses on those headshots he used to have from the store.
Anyway,
dude, I have a store.
Rob made the television title
mean more than the world title. 23 months.
Nobody touched him for 2 years. And it took a broken ankle because they were building towards Mike Awesome and Rob. And my ankle. The knee was in WWE, dude. Alright.
But you gotta put over the new Evans show.
New Evans show, Jerry Lynn. We might, you know, I'm not sure how far in advance the show is going to be on, but we might be seeing this on TNA.
Yeah.
Again,
I mean, it was
YouTube it.
It was so
yes,
big.
that boy. Actually,
What about Steve Carino?
what about Steve Carino? Anyway.
Hey, he's old school, and his feud with Dusty Rhodes in ECW was an awesome feud. That's the one thing I'll put over about ECW. They took legends that were past their prime, that were willing to put over new talent and brought them in to put over the young guys. Terry Funk, Bam Bam Bigelow, Sid Vicious, Dusty Rhodes.
I'm sorry, guys. I was just noticing some girl's ass. I'm back with you guys now.
Hey,
We're
it's
in Vegas.
extreme, baby!
We were in Vegas.
We are in Vegas. All right. Anyway, Mike Awesome, the controversy with the world champion.
Yes.
This is not a highlight. It's a low light, but
I actually consider it a highlight because it took Mike Awesome being a royal douchebag to have the first ever WWE contracted superstar versus WCW contracted superstar
Mike Awesome.
fighting in an ECW ring for the ECW title.
That will never happen again.
Which led to one of the best SmackDown matches
Of that time
with Triple H as the WWF champion and Taz versus the ECW champion, going champion for champion.
And I like how Triple H really was like, what garbage can did you find that belt out of? He was like literally ripping Taz at every moment. Yeah.
Taz took him to the limit.
He did.
Now let me ask you this question, Mr. Historian. Okay? Since we pretty much covered the main ECW, can you remember the match that sparked the reuniting of ECW with the Alliance storyline in WWF?
I can. Lance Storm and Mike Awesome of WCW against Chris Jericho and Kane of the WWF. And all of a sudden, RVD and Dreamer come out of the crowd out of nowhere. July 9, 2001. And all of a sudden, 10 or whatever WWF guys come out, surround Storm and Awesome, and then as one, turn, face Jericho and Kane, and obliterate them.
And this is going to segue now into the Alliance WWF version of ECW, which eventually, as we all know, WWF reigned supreme at Survivor Series. Team bring it. But then, with the success of the rise and fall of ECW came One Night Stand.
Stat Boy approved. Good job, sir. Well done.
Thank you.
One Night Stand was ECW's one last moment in the spotlight.
So we thought.
It should have been ECW's one last moment in the spotlight.
Rob's promo, Paul's promo, the main event, Eddie and Benoit.
Even coming with Stone Cold at the very end, because people forget that Stone Cold Steve Austin passed through the doors of ECW.
Before he was Stone Cold, he was
the ringmaster.
He was the Extreme Superstar.
Let's just say that One Night Stand was like Michael Jordan winning that 6th NBA championship with the Bulls, and the second One Night Stand was like Michael Jordan playing for the fucking Washington Wizards.
There you go.
The second One Night Stand itself was good.
Oh, I mean the One Night Stand with Bobby Lashley on the cover.
That was.
I'm sorry, the one where Edge was the biker.
It wasn't strictly ECW One Night Stand 06. It was
a little mixed up, yeah.
One Night Stand 06, Rob and Cena. Again, Cena at his most hated, I dare say, against Rob Van Dam for the championship. But from there,
Sabu versus Rey Mysterio,
the World Championship,
where a freaking extreme match gets stopped.
by a doc. That's fair.
That just showed that ECW should have just ended in 2005.
The most extreme moment of that
Angle
match,
versus Orton was epic.
the most extreme moment of that actual match was when the kid punched Randy Orton, and Randy Orton got in the kid's face like, now punch me in the face, and the kid's like, I don't know.
No, the most extreme moment of that pay-per-view was the crowd 5 or 6 times throwing John Cena's shirt.
Yeah.
Shout out to John, but that was freaking
His two
comical.
biggest jimmies right here. Shout out to you, John.
And the new convert, throw it out there one more time, yes.
You all
Shout out.
converted to Cena-ism.
Back on the side. All
And
right.
the last thing we've got to cover as far as Extreme, because ECW was relaunched and failed miserably because Paulie left,
Paulie was
all the
forced
originals
out, yeah.
were gone.
Except the
Hardcore Justice in TNA.
Yes, that was the
Dixie, give us one more chance to shine. They didn't do us right in the other company. Give us one more chance to to reverse that legacy and submit it the way it should be.
They gave that stupid ass championship, that oversized was a silver title.
Yeah, we're talking about TNA, you know, the other. Go ahead, turn your back.
I don't know.
Go turn your
I don't
back.
know.
Yes, your WWE stockholder. So.
I don't know.
But hardcore justice, you know, to be fair, they just couldn't get the right talent again because they were afraid that TNA would do what WWE did. Had they been able to get the people they wanted to, had they been able to get Shane Douglas versus Ric Flair,
Or something like that. Right. Exactly.
that would have been the be-all to end-all.
Out of love for TNA, you know what I mean? Hey, I give them this little moment here. I actually tried to stomach that little reunion show that they did.
Hold on. We're not. Yeah. Hold on. We're not. Yeah. This was
Hey, nothing's more extreme than Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm just throwing that out there.
If we are getting wrapped up, that's the only
Yes,
reason we're trying
yes.
to stay over it.
So, we're not trying to cut you off, but you know, since you were talking about TNA, we all know how you feel about that. We're just gonna wrap up on hardcore justice.
I tried to watch it. I tried to watch it.
And we're just gonna go ahead and say that TNA, WWE,
both fail with ECW, but ECW at its core.
Google it, YouTube it, Wikipedia it,
Like it.
Do your homework.
We'll see you next time.